thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you, Sister Angela, for inviting me. Like she said, we met at church, and she called me and she said, "Oh, remember you said you were gonna come speak in my the school?" I said, "Okay." And one of the things I want to bring that up is because I work. I have a day job, so I'm out of work today because of you all, and that is very important because one of the things I teach people is to keep their agreements. Because when she had asked me, I didn't know it was going to be within the day, but because I had made an agreement, because everything we do in the world is never. If you can sign a lot of contracts, it doesn't mean a thing. It's what you say that really matters. So I had to find out a way to be here today. So I thank you very much, and I really, really appreciate that. Because every time I have to work with young people, and women especially, I'm very honored to do it. I take it as a privilege to be here. So thank you very much. Like she's giving you some information about me. I have 30 minutes to speak, so please let me know. So I'm not going to talk a lot about me. She has a very nice bio about me. She got from my website. So I'm like, this is really good. So you can read that, and you can always find out more on my website, estherlamnyam.com. She asked me to talk to you today about self-esteem. And self-esteem is one of those things that you can read so much about it on the internet. It's everywhere. We talk about self-esteem in school, we hear it in church, we hear it among our peer groups, and you can do a lot of research on it, you can read a lot of it. But the fact that we are still having self-esteem issues means that there is something we are missing. So I'm going to talk to you today about a few key points about self-esteem. And then when I have like 5 minutes left or 6, you can signal me so I can take some questions, because it's in the questioning that we really grow. So if you have any questions in regards to what I say or something that is in your mind or has been on your mind, please do ask. If I don't know, we are all here together, we can mastermind and we can help each other. When you hear the word self-esteem, what comes to your mind are two words, self and esteem. Self is about me, about you. And esteem means how I hold myself in regard. So self-esteem is really about you. It's not about anybody else, it's about you. And how you hold yourself in regard, how you esteem yourself, how you think about yourself, how you value yourself. It's only about what you think about yourself. It's not what about the world thinks about you. So that is very important to know, because most of the time we let the world influence us. And I'm going to give you some tools here today that will help you begin to really think about you and what you bring to the table. The first thing that we have to know how to do to develop self-esteem or to do anything else in life is something very simple. When I teach people, I use very simple tools. But if you pay attention to these simple tools, they are going to change your life. It's like trying to cook and you have all the ingredients, and sometimes you need just a pinch of salt, not a lot. And that is what is going to change, make the difference. Or sometimes you can have all the ingredients to cook and you don't make the soup because you don't have the heat. You have everything, you don't have the heat. So I'm going to bring that tool that would make you have the soup, because you have all the tools. We have sisters who are great, we have leaders in the society, women, men in the industry, we have books, we have our teachers, and somehow we are still, some of us, I'm not saying it's in here, because you can still take this information and share with others that are still having that issue. So there's some key little points that we are missing, like that little heat that would make that all the ingredients now become soup for you. So one of the things you have to do is choice. Choice is a very, 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 very simple thing. But without choice, you cannot move 1 degree into whatever direction you want to move in. It doesn't matter whether you want a great marriage, you want a great education, you want to write a great book, you want to become a singer. You can sing all you want, and everybody can say you're a great singer, you're going to be a great singer. But you have to make a choice to be a great singer. Because when you make that choice, it's an agreement you are having with yourself. Just like I agreed I was going to be here, then I have to tell my boss I'm not going to work on Friday. So I've been working late every week because I work for strictly 40 hours. So I don't get paid. So I had to, once I made that conscious choice that I was going to be here, now I have to think about all my other scheduling. and how I can work with them so that I'm here for you today. Everything you do in life, you have to make a conscious choice. This looks very simple, but it's not. Because once you make that choice, I also believe there are spiritual entities out there to work with you. Somebody in here might have had an issue, oh, I'm really having self-esteem issues. You made that choice, and the choice was so powerful, it registered, and here I am today, or the topic for this discussion was self-esteem. Because you made a conscious decision to figure out self-esteem for yourself, to grow in that area. So choice is the number one thing you have to do. But self-esteem is how I value me. If it's about me, what does that imply? I have to know me. Right? Self-esteem. If I don't know me, how am I going to be able to value me? So self-knowledge. If there's one thing you invest your life in, it should be self-knowledge. And it's going to grow with time. You're not going to know all about you at one stage. It's like school. You're in first grade, you learn some things in first grade. Then when you go to second grade, you have more difficult equations. Then you start doing linear stuff. You start doing exponents. So self-knowledge is very, very, very crucial. You have to invest in knowledge, knowing who you are. A very simple example, when I was a little girl in elementary school, I came home one day upset. Somebody had said I have a big mouth. So I went home to my mom, like, those kids said I have a big mouth, and I wanted my mom to go to the school I was told, and my mom was, wisdom, very nice, very gentle. My mom said, do you have a big mouth? Like, she asked me if you have a big mouth. I'm like telling her, somebody said I have a big mouth. She said, do you have a big mouth? I didn't know if the kids actually said my mouth was physically big or that I talk too much. But that question changed my life because a few weeks later I came back home. And I said the kids said I have a big head. And now I really believe I had a big head. Like bigger than my body because I was skinny. But my mom said, do you have a big head? And I had to answer that question. She looked at me like, do you have a big head? And I thought I had a big head, but I was like, if I say I have a big head, she might be like, well, my daughter has a big head. So I said, no, I don't have a big head. And these lessons were very, very important. I was around 8 years old. Because what I thought about myself was more important in how I esteem myself and how I began to carry myself. So she said, if you don't have a big mouth, and they say you have a big mouth, they made a mistake. Or they just said it. You know how kids talk. If you have a big mouth, then God gave you a big mouth, there's nothing much you can do about it. So you thank God and say, I'm not going to use this someday for something. Right? Or you can now, if it meant I talk too much, then it means that when you are with your friends and they're talking, you don't talk too much and take space away from everybody. So that knowledge about me began to change my life. It's almost like now I began to form a constitution about who I am. So self-knowledge is so very important. Because it will make you not be upset when people say things about you. Because it's really self. All you are doing is thinking about what that person said, like the tabloids. The tabloids don't bother me. Because it's those people's words. But when they say those words, if you don't absorb them, the words will wash off. If like somebody said, man, you bad, you like, they mean you bad, you look real good. Because you have internalized that it means they say you bad, and then you think, oh, they mean I'm a bad child. Only you have made that interpretation. So you see how that begins to affect your self-esteem? So your self-esteem is really part of self-knowledge. So begin to invest in who you are, knowing who you are. When I was in grad school in Ohio, there was a family that took me in because I was an international student, and they had a little girl. She could play soccer. From the time she was 4 years old, she started playing soccer. So after I got here, she had to go to college, and we all knew she was going to go to college on a soccer scholarship. I mean, she was really, 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 really good. So the mother calls me. We stayed friends, and we're still friends. It's been more than 20 years. And she said, oh, Mommy didn't make the scholarship to go to college because she was going to get that scholarship to get her tuition. I said, Molly didn't make the scholarship. Molly is soccer herself. She's been playing soccer ever since I was a little girl. But one characteristic I've noticed about Molly when I was in grad school, when she was around 6, she always wanted her way. And they didn't tame that. You have to train up a child in the way the child should grow. When they are old enough, they will not depart from it. Good or bad training, they will not depart from it. If they train you wrong, you will not depart from it. If you train you good, you might go around like this, but you always come back to the point. Why did Molly not make the scholarship? On the morning of the practice, when all the scouts came around, Molly did not like to wake up early. So her mom went to her room and tried to get Molly up. She would not wake up. She was like, oh, leave me, I want to sleep. So she missed the whole scholarship because she likes to sleep. How does self-knowledge comes in? See, because of that, she's ended up with a lot of other problems in her life because she did not invest in self-knowledge. Self-knowledge does not mean you are the best. It means I know my strengths and weaknesses. Because Molly does not want to wake up early in the morning. If you don't like to wake up early in the morning, maybe if you have such a big project Wednesday, you ask somebody to wake you up early in the morning, or you go to bed early. Or you do certain things now because all we do is what we do to ourselves. Because we don't take good care of ourselves, we end up failing and we feel short, and then we end up with low self-esteem. Or, I don't like to use negative words. We end up with words with esteem that doesn't put us in places where we can move higher. So there are certain things about each of us. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. So when you know your strengths and your weaknesses you can build on, they can become your career, because you have developed them, you have fortified them, you have put an alloy, you have put something, or you get somebody to work with you. Tell somebody to wake you up. I had a rule when I was in college. I will never shut off the alarm clock. I have to get up. So that self-knowledge is very, very, very important. I can tell a lot of examples about self-esteem, but I hope these couple of examples begin to help you invest in yourself. And then, let me know about the time, please. Another thing that will help you with self-knowledge is something that is so crucial. If you can get just this point today, it will change your life. Your thoughts and your words. Who here has ever prayed? Anybody ever prayed? Exactly. When you pray, what do? I traveled internationally a few years ago and I was given food. And I asked a little boy to pray, 10-year-old, and he asked me to pray in French. What is prayer? So if you had to teach this little boy or girl how to pray, how would you teach it? Just think about it for a second. How would you teach this little kid how to pray? So when you pray, for the interest of time, when we pray, there are two mediums that you use. You use your words, just like I'm talking, or you think. Because you could have said, let's pray over this food. Somebody might say something along this blah, amen. I will move on. Or you might, like right now I'm talking, you could have prayed for something. Oh, I hope somebody told me, I hope I took care of that stuff. So you mentally thought about it, and then you moved on. It's like reading a book and highlighting a paragraph, or a sentence, then you keep reading the rest of the book. But do you think that God who listens to us when we pray stops listening to us because we now say amen? Who here thinks that? That after we say let's pray the Lord's Prayer and we say amen, then we keep on with our meeting or with whatever we're doing, with our dancing or our walking. God has stopped listening to us. I don't think He has. I think we, going back to self, have made a decision to say, now we have prayed. Now everything else we are saying is not prayer. So I don't think that is what happens. I think everything we say is being listened to. Example, you can think about me, I call you. You think about your mom or your girlfriend, you thought about people and they call you, right? Because you thought really high. And you think about eating something, somebody tells you that. Like Christmas, I was just thinking about this present. How did you know? Because your thoughts register. Everything you think about is formative. Every time you think it, it's working. It's working. And when you become conscious of this, you realize that every word you're saying about yourself is working. If you say, oh, I'm so stupid, it's working. The words are real things. Words are real. In the beginning was a word. Everything is a word. The book is a word. This house was a word spoken or a thought. The car was a word. This was a thought. This was a word somebody thought about, then they downloaded it into concrete terms. So every time you're thinking, every time you're talking, you're forming stuff. If you talk bad about me, that's what you're praying. You're praying about me. If I talk bad about our leader, that's what I'm praying for. Talk about our teacher, my mother, my daughter, my friend, the family. So you can change. If you believe prayer works, it means that your other thoughts are working also. right? Equation. If this equals to this and it works, then my other thought, you can change the traffic. I've done it. You can change so much. So if you think good thoughts and clean thoughts about everybody, all it does, it comes back to you because that is the secular system. So self-esteem goes back to how we think and how we talk. So start saying things about yourself that you want to happen in your life. And you'll be amazed about what beautiful things will happen in your life. I have dreamt about talking to young people. But I've been talking to grown-ups, and recently that's what I've been talking to. I just came from Africa. If you go on my website, I just put on a video. I went to Cameroon. I had a high school. The principal said, I read your book. Can you come talk to my students? I was like, I've been thinking about talking to students, you know. And it happened because that thought has been vibrating. You know, there's more to it. It registers on a scale, you know, and it connects. You know, everything is taught. Wireless communication existed before we had wireless cords. You know, any questions? Or, you know, so self-esteem is a choice that we make. Another thing about self-esteem, one of the things, you know, the parents in here, okay, but parents, you know, we have to help the young ones just like our own parents are helping us. And one of the things I wanted to do was for the parents to help the kids is to think about what self-esteem is. Like if my child has self-esteem, I mean, you can pick one of these up, you can pass this around. Everybody should get one, please. If my child has self-esteem, what would it look like? Because sometimes we complain about something we already have, we just need to activate it. We just need to make it bigger. It might not be something that we don't already have, but if we don't have it, if we don't know it, how are we gonna, you know, how are we gonna know it when we see it? You know, so I want this is for the parents. The kids should also have a paper. We can have one exercise for the kids. The parents write down, what does self-esteem look like? If my child had self-esteem, what would she be talking like? What would she be acting like, behaving like, going to bed, all that stuff. So that's an exercise I would like for you to do to help develop the kids in their self-esteem journey. And then one last thing before I ask for questions that I would like, one of the things that can really change your life is gratitude. Gratitude is very, very important. But another way to do gratitude is not just to say thank you, it's to give. Because when we take the emphasis off of us and we focus it on other people, there's just something that happens in our souls because we are lovers. We are made out of love. We activate that energy and we feel so good. And when you're feeling good and doing things for other people, you don't have time to be thinking low about yourself. But what do you give? You are a child, like the children, what do they give? One of the biggest lessons in giving that my mom taught me, my father has taught me a lot of lessons too, but today the examples I'm using have to do with my mom, you know. When I was in middle school, we called it secondary school, boarding school back home, I came home for, I'm just going to give you examples of what you can give. Because it's not, forget about money. I don't want you to give money. I want you to give different things that will really activate your life. You can give a smile. You can give a flower. You can give a helping hand. You can babysit. You can give a call. You can give a kind word. Back in the village, I tell the kids, go and fetch firewood for somebody. Carry water for a old mother. Make sure, you know, she's okay. Fix her roof if it's leaking. You can give so many things. But one of the biggest lessons my mother taught me, when I came home from break, and my mother said, one lady, I didn't grow up in the village, so I was always intrigued by some of the village customs. The village, when you hear gospel music, that's how the women cry in the village. That's why gospel music really just hits you so bad, because it's a dance, it's a song, it's a, you know. So one lady's daughter had died, and my mother said, go say hi to her. I'm like, I'm just 14 years old. I don't like when I go cry like those women cry, because it's like a real art. Even at this age, it's very difficult to go condole with somebody. And I didn't want to go. So I told my mom, I don't know how to cry like the village women. I don't know how to talk like that. I was a skinny little kid, didn't grow up in the village. And my mother said something to me that changed my relationship in certain situations. My mother said to me, just go and sit. She will understand. Sometimes that's all you can give somebody. Just sit with them. holding hands, touch people, please. Touch. We're not touching people anymore, and our daughters need touch. We don't want them to go find it somewhere else. Because it's very healing, it's very powerful, or just sitting there. Your presence, not presence. Give people your presence. It is so powerful, it can make them achieve the move. Believe me, I've seen it happen. So just sit, give. Once you give, you take the emphasis off of you. You become more creative. Give homework. Help somebody with their homework. Help another student who can solve their problem better. The poem, she said a very beautiful poem. If you can't memorize it, sit with her, let her help you memorize it. Because there's no way you can teach somebody without growing. It's not just possible. So it's more blessed to give, than to receive. It's so powerful. It's one of the biggest things you can do, give. And you see your life just grow. Okay. So I'm going to open the floor up for questions, comments, additions. We all help each other. Any questions? Don't tell me I covered everything wrong. Okay.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
Some of the issues that our ladies deal with here is like some of the things you said about what other people say about them. Even with my own daughter, she came home to me yesterday and about this girl called me weird, and it was trying to know what to say to her, giving her a positive way to deal with this child calling her weird. We talked about when you think you're weird, what do you think about yourself, and what can I tell her? How does she respond back to the person that is giving those negative thoughts from?
Yeah, that's a very, very beautiful question, very important question. Because most of the time, like kids, we hear about bullying and all these things that are happening to kids. And one of the things I tell kids, grown-ups, everybody needs this, is that I cannot control anybody but myself. And when you know who you are, you know your power. Like I just saw your poem, it's so beautiful, how beautiful and brilliant you are. When you have that self-knowledge, one of the things you cannot do is control the world. I cannot control her. You cannot control me. I cannot control you. What I can do, I can control me. And I can control my reaction. My reaction to what everybody is saying. Like I use the example of the tabloids. When people say you are weird, what they are doing is they are taking a little needle and injecting something into you. If you receive that, that's when you react. Because, like I said, sometimes somebody can say you're bad. You are receiving the bad, that thing is fly, that you look so bad, because we are receiving it in a different thought frame. But when you say you are so bad, you're a bad child, it's a different thought frame. So it makes us react. So we are the ones who are all the time with mental poison. We are the ones who are translating what that person, we are thinking that person meant to hurt us. But even if that person meant to hurt us, that is their choice. But we have to choose to be pure and clean. As we grow at every stage, it doesn't matter. It's going to be at that little stage, it's going to be at